Welcome to Trading Lounge for the US indices for the 4th of November. On the 4-hour chart here, we've been counting 5 waves up in blue here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then looking at 5 here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. And we're looking for 5 waves in this particular structure here. And at first sight here, it looks like we've got wave 1 and 2 in here, wave 3 here, wave 4, and wave 5 to finish off in here, and we should see a corrective move back into this space here at least. So let's go pick it up on the 1-hour chart from this wave 4 here. So from this wave 4 here, we've got wave 1 and 2 and wave 3 here, and then we've got an expanded flat of an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4, and then we're looking for wave 5 to the upside here. And in that here, at first glance, it looks like we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here and wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and then, well, don't have a wave 5 there, but you get the idea. But it does appear that also too we can put wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and then look for a smaller wave 5 up here. But I would imagine that this is group 2 area here, so 65, 72 and 80 here. So our target was 65, but if we get support within 65, we'll push up into 72 here. So let's go and investigate this here on the tick chart and pick it up from this wave 4 low here. So this wave 4 here, but while we're here, we went over this last time, but we'll go over again. Wave 3 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave, an A and a B, and then 5 waves up here for the C wave of wave B, and then 5 waves to the downside here. I've had a little bit of a problem with this one, just trying to figure it out. As 1 and 2 here, and then the third wave all the way down to here, and then 4th and 5th here, and would have 5 waves in here of 1 and 2, and yeah, I've got 1 wave short in here as well. So I've had a few problems in here. I mean, the main point here is that it's possible that this could be wave 1 here. So wave 4 could actually be, copy that and put it here, and have this as wave 2 here. I think we may have talked about that last time. We didn't need to worry about it last time because we were just looking for support on this level here. And this is quite interesting here because we were looking for a classic trading levels pattern, which is the arrival, the reaction. So we had the arrival, the reaction here, and then the first high above the level is always in 5 waves. So I can see we've got little 5 waves in here, and then we'll look for an A and a B and a C to drop below the level here. But I wanted to just talk about this for a little moment here as well. So the classic trading levels pattern is basically the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then an A and a B and a C dropping down below the level here. And I always like it to do that because when it does that, it's checking the strength of the market, finding where the depth is here, and then once you've got that, we can just move up and we look for support here, and we move in this point. But there is the variation of this whole pattern where it doesn't push down through here, and I just call it the variation of that, and this is it here. So we have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then it sits on here. So it's just like walking up some stairs in that case. But we always take this as the first high here, and then we try to bring it down to the second high here, and you may even get another one in this little space here. So this is the variation of the classic trading levels pattern, and this is what we've got here at the moment with this here. So we can see that it had the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then it just sat on there nicely, you know, found that support there and then moved off. So and I would have explained it over here a little bit. So, you know, we've had the top here that we would have gone long on, and then we go down to the next level and probably bring it down to this level here. You could also draw a line through here, and then there's that little one in here where you've got that, you bring it down to the next one, you've got that one in here. It takes a while to work this out, but any of these highs that are breached will, you know, because it's a corrective structure, triggers the trade. So yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd explain that. So we, from this low here, we can count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So this is quite clear here as wave 1 and 2 here. So and then this as wave 3 here, but it's not counting, just can't get my head around it in here with all of this as well. Just can't, but the wave 4 seems to make itself quite reasonably clear here with this. So, and then wave 5 to the upside here. So we could expect, let me just check on this here, because wave 3 looks a little bit short as well. Not that it's the end of the world. Well, it's the same size. It's the same size as wave 1 and wave 3 are the same size. So when we get those the same size, that means that we can get an extension in the 5th wave here. So we need to be a little bit mindful of that. If I counted this up here, so that means that if I just move that and put that here, then we could end up in this space up here. But if I count this here, I can count 1 and 2 here, and yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 here, ABC for 4 here, and then that leaves us with wave 5. So I mean, wave 5 could actually just go right in here, but I won't do that. That would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 all squashing it up, but it wouldn't be like that. So we possibly. And plus you would have probably been out because our target was the 65 here for that. So, but it could climb higher, and it can climb higher in terms of having, this is a wave 1 here and a wave 2 here, but we're close to the top here. Okay, that's the main point here. So let's just see, you know, when Friday closes strong, Monday tends to follow through with all of this as well. So we can see high. So there's a couple of problems here. Number one, it's possible to have this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. If that's the case, then this makes this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the 3rd wave here. That's the little 3rd wave I've got here. And then there would be the 4th wave coming in, and then the 5th wave coming up. So would come higher up here for this. So we're still waiting for a top here to play out, just not quite clear as that goes at this particular point. But also what I wanted to talk today about is the bigger picture. This is the IDX. This is the SP 400, not the 500. So it's the 400. And I just wanted to have a look at this as a possible bullish count to the upside. And it counts quite nicely here as from here up for wave 1, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming in on this low here. Now on the S&P 500, that's not the low there, but when we look at it on other markets, it is. Like the Russell, maybe we'll have a look at the Russell as well. So, and there's a lot of banks like this too in this sort of situation here as well. And then we can count 5 waves up here. And then we've got, this is a corrective wave coming deep and sharp, so nice wave 2 here. And then what we're doing at the moment, aren't we? We're counting 5 waves up through here for this. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and you know, so we can go a bit higher here. And obviously in this case here, we're facing a major trading level. You can just get that in here for a second. There we go. So the number 2 here is a major trading level. So the market really hasn't quite sort of grasped it just yet in this case. So so what I wanted to say in the bigger picture, you know, if we look at this as getting support here on this, well then that's going to mean something, isn't it? So you know, we're kind of looking at this 5 waves up here to be a top and a bigger pullback. Yes, we will get a pullback we will get a reaction from, you know, up in this space up here for this. So we'll keep an eye on that. But you know, it does count quite nicely as you know, as a sort of corrective wave to the upside there. I mean, a positive structure to the upside. When we look at the Russell 2000 or the IWM as such, we've got the same sort of pattern here as well. And in this case here, this is kind of interesting in 2 ways. Like the S&P 500 here was way above up here. We can look at that, but it was way up here with that. But in this case here, it makes nice for an A and a B and a C wave, and you can see how this is the low here, that one there, but on the S&P that's not the case. That's higher up as well here. So this is quite a good formation in this space here as well. So so with the S&P 500, if we look at it, I think I put it on the weekly chart here, the same count here. So this is it here in the same count. Now I wouldn't have picked it up without looking at the other market. So looking at the other markets, the wave B is shorter. And in this case, we've got this is the low here. But in those other 2 markets we looked at, this is the low here. So it's possible. I mean, I'm not saying this is correct. And we're not going to miss it by any means either. But what it is telling us is that let's just say if it's correct, then what we will see is we'll see that because we've got wave 2 here and wave 2 here and wave 2 here, that means we're going to see this here become really strong here in this space, because it'll be the third of a third here. So that means a couple of things. It means that we need to be on our toes, and it also means that once we do get this little 5th wave finishing in here that we're counting up here, then well, being a third of a third, we may not even get a 61.8% retracement level here as well. So we'll need to be mindful of that. But what we will do is we will be looking to go long above here. Once that 5th wave comes in, then that will be our trigger. And yes, we should be able to get a better, you know, a better move into this as well through, well, the second high here would be good, and through here, and we'll also watch it down here as well. So we'll probably buy the bounce off here, because there's really good, this resistance here now becomes the support here for this market. So I'm just explaining this because we don't want this. I mean, the last thing we want is the third of a third to get away on us, wouldn't it? You know, I mean, that's just, you know, that's you know, that's just crazy. That's why you paid me the big bucks, you know, $4 a day or whatever it is. All right. Right. So we're just going to have a look at the NASDAQ for a moment. I'm just going to look at it on the tick chart. Okay. So in this case here, we've got the expanded flat in terms of wave A here and wave B up here, and then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So in this case here, I'm using wave 1 here and wave 2 here, which I wasn't doing that on the other market, you know. But what I can glean from here as well is that we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, and the fourth wave here is fine, and then this next wave is a little bit dodgy here, so I'm not quite sure how I need to treat this here actually. So this is pull way back down here and overlap wave 1. I mean, maybe it's okay at this degree of structure. It is corrective, it's not like an impulse wave, because otherwise I look at it as an expanded flat as well, but it's not the case. It's definitely 3 waves here. So anyway, a little bit of thing there, but then I come into this here. If I'm wave 4 here, you can count here easily as wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then we're going across for wave 4. Wave 2 is simple, wave 4 is sideways and complex, and this is the low here. So in this case we've got 1 and 2 here, And yeah, I mean, maybe 1 and 2 and 3 and overlapping 4 again and up for 5 here. So look, we're close to a top here, I think. You know, we need to still make a new high here into this group 2, but once again, the NASDAQ's in the same space as well. Now, I'm not going to short right on the top. I know the money's in the turn, but what we need to do is we need to see 5 waves down first, and then we can start to make our move at that point. And there will be, you know, there'll be some follow through from Friday to Monday as well, unless there's any you know, negative news that comes out. But yeah, so just wanted to point out. I mean, I've counted this. This is labelled a little bit differently, but the numbering's the same with all of this. So just sorry, I was just looking at another count. All right, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Thanks for the support.